Hello and welcome to the February 16th meetup. Here, the schedule of events. We have a market review with myself, national, regional, and local. We have guest speakers Michael Mangum on wholesaling and Austin Schaldang on crowdfunding. You know, current market conditions, it's been an incredible market all around the country for the last year. And a summary of the regional and national markets shows, upwards trend and an upward tick in every market pretty much across the board. Now, nationally, last year to this year, I'm mixing in a presentation that I had last year. We had 5,330,000 sales in 2015, 2016, and the year before was 5,210,000. So, uptick of about 100,000. You can see that the percentage, now this is last year, 2017 to 2016, we see huge increases in sales, okay? Below 100,000 it was actually negative, but that's because there just isn't any product really in that price point. But 100,000 to 250,000 was up 12.8%, $250,000 to $500,000 up 25%, $500,000 to $750,000 up 35%, and $750K to $1 million plus, we were up 40 to 42%. So the housing prices across the board in 2016 were up 4.4%. That's we're going on now 5 years of consecutively monthly year-over-year gain. Last year was at a 4.4 month supply, and housing starts were just starting to tick up last year. They're really starting to tick up this year. Your days on market, your average about 3 months across the board nationally here. In our current marketplace, depending on where you're at, new builds in Snowmass are selling before they're finished, and new construction in Denver is selling before it's finished, and older product is selling within 31 days in the Denver marketplace. Buyer and seller traffic indices, this is current 2017, going into 2017. As you can see, there is less sellers than there are buyers. Colorado, this is the statement from last year. If you thought it was crazy in 2016, they were predicting strong economic growth. Last year, they had 4,400 homes on the MLS at this time, and this year there's right around 4,000 again. The inventory, days on market are right around 30 days. It's still the same. The 2016 Colorado housing market real estate predictions for this year. This is the end of 2016 going into 2017. Denver was ranked 3rd, Colorado Springs 11th, and Boulder 18th. Colorado has more cities in the top 20 except for California, and of course that is a much, much larger market. We have shown 15.3% equity gain in the last year. That's huge. So to sustain that, I just don't believe that is sustainable. Of course it isn't. We're going into our 6th and 7th year, depending on the marketplace. So a good market in Colorado for the next year, in 2015 they had 11.5% from the median to $304,000. Now we're at $335,000. That's according to the data of the Colorado Association of Realtors. So the median price of a home, $335,000. Now here is an interesting fact. There's 15,645 homes listed in the state for sale last month. This was in November of 2016. And in 2014 there were 25,000. So 10,000 less. And in 2014 there were 23,000. So that is huge. And then the statewide number, it's 10,000 less, almost half less of the inventory that there was in the prior year in 2015. So you're looking at statewide home sales of 6,636 compared with 5,344. So look at that. That's literally 1,200 more sales, or about 20% more sales than the prior year, with half the inventory and equity gain. So are we reaching a peak in the cycle? You bet we are. But what this is showing is the affordability. People can't afford more, so hence the inventory. But that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a place where we're tapping out as far as the upward tick or upward trend in the marketplace, but the supply levels are still extremely low. So what this says to me is it's a great time for new construction, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of new construction across the market. Of course, you're going to see builders go crazy and they're going to overbuild, and it'll cause a softening in the market there again, and then there'll be an added days on market for the other inventory because the inventory will exceed the demand again as it imbalances. But that is over the next few years, that I'm forecasting. So 34.5% increase. This is last year in the last 4 years. So that's about 8% a year, right? But that's pricing themselves out. So it went from the average sale price of a home in the city is now $420,000. This is in Denver last year. It's up from there. I'll show you here where it's at, but it is up from there. Colorado Association of Realtors, price of a home last year sold at 11.4%, down from 14.2% in 2015. So what that means is, like there again, like I was saying, we're not seeing those 15% equity gains so much. We are still climbing and trending up, but that affordability is a factor. So his statement here, we were looking at 2017, looks a lot like 2016 with some of the froth off the market, said Mark Trinka, chairman of Colorado Association of Realtors. So trending up still, 11.4% equity instead of 14.2%. Where are we going? I'm anticipating 6 to 8% this next year. Two sides of Denver real estate. How high can it go? Affordable housing is the challenge. And that is the challenge. And that's, we have to mean, you can't sell a home to people who can't afford them. So we can't keep upward trending into the heavens here with the pricing of single family homes, whether it be entry level, mid level, or luxury homes. I mean, people just can't afford them. If they can't afford them, they can't buy them. So here's your Denver stats from Denver Metro Association of Realtors. 2016, there were 969 active listings in January. In 2017, just last month, there were 534 active listings, literally half of last year. Not literally half, I'm sorry, almost half. Under contract, about the same, right? 557 to 563 this year. It's up 1%. New listings, 595 new listings and 549 this year. So less in inventory there again. Sold listings, 490 to 458, pretty tight. And then days on market, 36 days on market last year, 31 days on market this year, right? And then the median sales price in the Denver, $335,000, and now $370,000 this year. That's that upward tick at 10.4%. Okay. Townhouses and condos. Townhouses, condos don't look quite the same. 668 to 628 under contract. 354 to 457 definitely shows a 30% uptick in sales there, showing that these condos and townhomes are going under contract and selling faster now. I believe that we're going towards a more condensed type housing situation, hence the popularity of little houses and condominiumized PUDs and whatnot. So I think that people are going to start buying smaller and becoming more efficient and effective with their space. The sold listings, 293 to 322, that's up 10% almost. Days on market, 36 to 33 for townhomes. Median sales price, 276 to 287. They're only an uptick there of 4.1%. And then the average sales price, amazingly, is down for the townhomes and condos. So, Denver Council, of course, working on putting affordable housing together. You see this, people being priced out of the market. You're going to see people step in to subsidize, raising over $150 million. Secondary markets, going into your Vail, your Steamboat Springs, your Tellurides, all of your mountain communities, your resort communities are the secondary markets we like. And then the markets on the outskirts of that we don't really like your Fairplays, your South Parks, Leadville, places like that, too soft, Delta, the divergent housing market. So here you see your month's supply right right here in Denver Metro, 1.2. Northeast, 1.5. That's your Fort Collins. Southeast, that's your Durango. Mountain region is your Vail, Aspen, Breckenridge. Still, it's up there, 198. Now, this has significantly been reduced this last year, going into 2016. Southwest region, that is your Durango. This is your Lyman. Northwest region, that's out there by out there towards Kansas and Nebraska. And then the U.S. average last year was 4.6 months on market. The change in month supply was down 8%. 52 days on market was your average. 212 across the board for the median sales price, which now it's up across the board nationally as well. So Aspen, talking about Aspen and your secondary markets, it's been 6 years on the incline, trending up, and now we've never experienced 7 years of continued growth. So we believe we have topped and we are going to start flattening out. Secondary markets are where they were in 2006, and we are peaking. Different strategies to use that we use. Our favorite areas right now, locations: Aspen, Snowmass, Breckenridge, Glenwood Springs, and Denver and surrounding markets. We work with land development, affordable housing, luxury, and PUD. It's one of our mock-ups of one of our houses we're building right now in Snowmass. Forecasting another great year. We believe, like I said, another 6 to 8% up. And I believe that's across the board. I believe that's your Snowmass, Aspen, and your Denver. And I feel pretty confident with that 6 to 8%. Glenn Weinberg's predictions, front range trending up, and all like 15%. There again, he's tentative. But his secondary markets, he believes, are really strong, like we do. 500K to 1.5 million, which is affordable for up here. And we like the under 5 million marketplace in Aspen, Snowmass. And then we have wholesaling, a risk-averse strategy for real estate investors, with Michael Mangum, our guest speaker. And then, of course, Austin Schaldang will be talking about crowdfunding platforms and how they help real estate investors. I hope you've enjoyed this market update. Thank you again to our sponsors, and have a fabulous investing year.